Hey, hey, welcome back. All right, Pisceans, let's go ahead and jump on into this. Pisces, we are going to go ahead, and since we are in this time frame where it's like we're halfway through the year, a little bit more than halfway through the year, I feel like it's a good time to take a look at what's growing, what's changing. Of course, this is still Year of Snake, and I was in the mood to wear my snake bracelet today, so I was like, and I wanted to wear green, and I just wanted to look at growth and change. It's a good time to do a check-in for like what's the next half of this year looking like, right? So we have got a 6 of Wands, we've got the 6 of Swords in the reverse, we've got the 3 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, we have a mixed bag. First off, nice to see a couple sixes. This talks about, I think Pisces is about to have some pretty nice like self-empowerment moments in this latter half of the year. What's coming next is some real successes, some things to celebrate. So set aside time to celebrate accomplishments, large and small, because it's important to be able to accomplish things. It's important to recognize things. Now, one of the things that Aquarius might get to celebrate, excuse me, that Pisces might get to celebrate is they hang on to something instead of letting it go, and that could be the right choice. Once in a while we always like, oh, this card is so great when we move on into calmer waters, but other times it takes more courage to get through the choppy times and sink our teeth in and sink our bum down and say, no, I'm hanging on to this. I'm not letting this go. This is important. I want to hold on to this. And there's a lot to be said for somebody with the courage to go ahead and hunker down and say, I'm actually going to ride out the choppy waters and get into the smooth. I've got what it takes to handle some of the ups and downs right now. So I feel like Pisces is going to be a little tested, but they're going to feel really proud of themselves. And then we also see Pisces possibly cutting some people loose. That's another thing to celebrate. Once in a while, we find ourselves needing to clean house. Once in a while, we find ourselves needing to release people, places, and things that we've outgrown. And that is hard to do. It's hard to let things go sometimes. Mastering that, it's kind of mastering the art of, I'll say, kind of withdrawing our energy from things. I think that speaks of somebody who's like quite advanced, quite mature, when we can let things go, when we can accept that sometimes people exit our lives. Sometimes they got to go down a different road. And I just feel like Pisces is saying, oh, yes, I can do that. So in this next half of the year, we see success, we see tenacity, and we also see the self-control to let things go. Here's Pisces all day long, being their beautiful Pisces self, right? The moon card, mysterious, dreamlike, somebody that can tap into the energies of the universe, somebody that has some pretty solid premonitions, somebody that can pick up on motives and they can sense what's coming next. I feel like Pisces is sliding more into their dreamscape abilities. I mean, this could be a very lucid dreaming timeline for Pisces. Pisces might want to, keep a notebook by the bed, jot down those dreams that come into their mind, because they could be premonition type dreams. We could have a Pisces who's really they're very attuned in this next half of the year to the energies around them, and they can dance in between. Like if other people are having conflict, I feel like Pisces can walk into a room and be like, yikes, I can feel the energy in this room, but I'm not part of this conflict. I'm not with all you all. I'm here as an observer, maybe a mediator. I am here because I can pick up on what the energy is in the room, which means I can read it and I can actually sidestep it or get in front of it, or maybe help to heal it or smooth it over. Or maybe I can, armed with this knowledge, this forewarning, because I can pick up on other people's motives, I can actually work beyond and stay out of this mess. It could be that Pisces is going to utilize that intuitive nature to see what's hidden, either through the dreamscape or just through, like I say, reading a room, reading energy. They're going to be able to use that to their advantage. But you notice how she's like dancing. This is graceful. This is not to create more drama or trauma. It's not like Pisces is going to be manipulative. It's mostly that some of their greatest strengths are coming to the forefront now, which is that emotional, dreamy, Neptune-y world. There's something really really dreamscapey about all of this. We have a Three of Swords and an Ace of Swords. I definitely think that Pisces is going to be able to be somebody who can break down other people's walls by giving the support when they see it. I think a lot of times what we see in people when they're having conflict, when they're having arguments, when they're having problems, what we're really seeing is a wounded version of them. Why is somebody angry? Why is somebody upset? It's because they're actually hurt. And I almost feel like you see that we've got one person sitting here being the shoulder that another person can cry on. I feel like Pisces is going to be able to see the true extent of what's going on with somebody, cut to the heart of the matter. If Pisces is like a therapist or somebody that works with individuals, helping them to heal, I feel like Pisces is very, very good at their job. I feel like they'll be even better than usual at cutting to the heart of the matter, seeing things, seeing the real, almost like, if we could see people's emotions as like a color or something emanating from their skin, I feel like that's basically as plain as it's going to be to Pisces. Pisces will be able to spot what somebody's really feeling. And I do think that there's someone in Pisces life in the next 6 months that could be heartbroken, and Pisces might be able to see it. This could be a potential romantic partner. This could be Pisces is really compassionate with somebody and also is able to give them some kind of solid, like secure, truth. Like if you're dating somebody and you're picking up on the fact that they're kind of guarded or something like this, instead of Pisces being like, God, I have no idea, why is this person not opening up to me? It's hurting my feelings. Pisces is not going to be hurt by this. Pisces is going to be able to say to them point blank, you seem like such a great person. I can tell you have a life story, though. Somebody didn't treat you as well as somebody as great as you deserved, and it might just be a truth that is just point blank. And that could be the thing that just like waterworks, it allows somebody to like undam their boundaries with Pisces. I feel like Pisces is going to have people like opening up to them like crazy in this next 6 months. People that are tough and stern and stoic and don't show emotion are suddenly going to be like totally melting in Pisces presence. We got a King of Wands, completely like all of the persona falls away. This is the real raw them. I kind of think, is there somebody that's madly in love with Pisces who's going to be really opening up to Pisces from here on out? Because of the way Pisces can read their behavior better than ever. All of this says Pisces is able to, Six of Wands again. Pisces has a couple different wins coming up, right? In the next 6 months, because we've got, a couple of distinctly different, this is like professional life type stuff where, if work is tough, but Pisces is like, yeah, but I got the skills. I can get through this. I can probably lead my crew through this difficult moment. Pisces could be up for a raise in the next 6 months, or they could be somebody who's going to be really recognized for like they make the cut, and other people that were full of conflict are going to exit. I feel like in life matters, Pisces is rising like the cream to the top. And other people that were disruptors, that were messing about, that weren't working hard, those people are going to be exiting. But then at a personal level, in Pisces' private life, when it comes down to love and it comes down to one-on-one relationships, Pisces is seeing through someone's facade. Pisces is able to give a lover or a love interest or a friend who becomes a romantic interest exactly the kind of support that they needed, which is to see them in their grief, to call it out for what it is. And I think that this gives this King of Wands like their I'll say their honor back. It also makes them very open with Pisces. It makes them feel like $1 million, but it also makes Pisces feel really good because this person opened up to Pisces because of the way Pisces handled them. It's like, look, I'm not going to tell anybody your secrets, but just know you can't really hide them from me because I can smell it on you. I can feel it on you. I know what you're made of. I know some of the stuff you've been through, even if I don't know the particulars of it. It's my gift. It's my skill. I can read a room. I can read somebody's energy. I'm able to see that on you. And I just feel like that gentleness, but very straightforward conversation, it strips away ego. It strips away, the need to hide anything, because I think this King realizes he can't hide it from Pisces anyway. Whomever this is, they love Pisces that much more because they finally feel comfortable in someone's presence, and it happens to be Pisces. I do feel like Pisces gets those feel good vibes. Like, I made my person feel that comfortable. I made them feel that seen. I did that for them. That is a beautiful thing, to make somebody else feel comfortable in your presence. That is a tremendous win. It's the same way where, if you've ever taken on a rescue pet and they're shy at first or scared at first, and then they decide to trust you, you know how that feels. It's like the best feeling in the world. It's like, oh, they know I'm not going to hurt them. They know I'm the safe space for them. They know, and they're opening up to me. And it's just, everybody feels better about each other, about themselves, about the situation. We got a Page of Wands. I definitely feel like this person is going to make Pisces feel very, very, very sexy as well. Very sought after, very attractive. The Page of Wands is that new spark of desire, of passion, of somebody could also, Pisces could be getting a cat or a rescue cat, or something about like really resonating very, very well in these next 6 months with any creature that has unspoken communication. There is a sense of like support combined with freedom, and it's making all these feel goods, all of these emotions between animals, between humans. Pisces is like tapping into kind of the underlying energy of what living creatures need to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel supported, to feel seen. And because Pisces can read that energy so well, so effortlessly right now, I think they're getting a lot of rewards. We also, though, still have, and what I'm wondering right now is we see that the King of Wands is like dropping all facades. Somebody who used to try to be like closed off is very much opening to Pisces in the next 6 months. But how do they see Pisces? Because that Page of Wands says that there's this spark, and it's almost like they're looking at Pisces with this newfound attraction, interest, and in this case, huge emotions. Okay, so somebody's fallen head over heels. They're getting all kind of steamy, all kinds of lovey-dovey for, and their emotions are going way deeper for Pisces. This King of Wands is dropping their arrogance, and they are changing gears, almost changing their personality to match with Pisces now. They're becoming more intuitive to Pisces energy flow. They're seeing the little idiosyncrasies about Pisces. Look, Pisces comes across as somebody that doesn't need a whole lot from other people. If they take on the personality of a feline, of a cat, they kind of come and go. But here's the thing. Cats love to be pet. Cats love to be fed. They want a comfy place, but they also have this self-sufficiency, this aloofness. But if you have a cat that, chooses that you are the one that they like, I mean, they are very cuddly. They worm their way right up on you. They're going to, have their time to get pet when they demand it. I almost feel like the King of Wands shifts into being the King of Cups, and they start to hyper focus a little bit on the little details of who Pisces is. Pisces is independent. You're never going to quite crack the mystery of this Pisces because they operate with the moon. They're always going to be a little mysterious, but this person's going to pay great attention to Pisces, to their likes, their dislikes, to their moods. They're going to understand that, after Pisces eats a big meal, Pisces does not want to cuddle, or Pisces does want to cuddle after a particularly good meal. They want to lay down on the couch and spoon and take a little snooze. Whatever Pisces little behaviors are, they're going to pay attention. I do think this Pisces likes to travel. They like to see the world through a certain lens. And this King of Cups, remember they were the King of Wands first, shifting into the King of Cups. They're absorbing Pisces vibe. They're starting to connect to Pisces and see the world through Pisces lens. But in doing so, it's because they're seeing Pisces more clearly. They're really getting to know Pisces. It is a slow, unpeeling, a slow unveiling. Okay, I'm really happy about this because for a second I was worried, is it just going to be that Pisces is so intuitive and they're giving somebody else all the feel goods and they're supporting somebody else? But does Pisces get anything in return for all of that sensitivity, all of that, love that they're exuding? And this says, oh, hell yeah. Pisces is actually, just through their bonding to somebody, the way they are, like letting somebody know, I really see the real you. It is making this King of Cups attentive to Pisces, wanting to get to know the real Pisces, shifting their energy, their frequency to match Pisces. So I see a relationship deepening tremendously over these next 6 months. And it's not that Pisces has to try to drop their guard or try to open up or try to like explain themselves. No. When somebody really cares about you, they're going to pay attention to what you are, who you are, your likes, your dislikes. They're going to notice your little patterns. Now, Pisces is hard to read, admittedly. This Pisces is not easy to read. But this person, Pisces is like they're going to be their main focus in these next 6 months. They're going to love, literally love learning about the mystery that is Pisces. We've got that Page of Pentacles. We've got the High Priestess. This energy of like the dialogue that they can have with Pisces gets more intriguing. I really feel like this Pisces has a mysticism to them that is huge. I feel like maybe I think Pisces could be pleasantly surprised that this person who's going to get really intrigued by them, really want to get to know them better, really start like peeling away the layers of who Pisces is. I feel like their conversations are going to start to go down a road of very spiritual, very, Pisces may be pleasantly surprised to discover that they think Pisces is somehow like this profound, I was meant to meet you kind of thing. I don't know what this means exactly, but this is no ordinary kind of love story. I'm not attracted to you in a superficial way. I feel like there is a really soul bonding, like mysterious pull that this character has toward Pisces. But I think they're going to be the ones that can broach the subject there. Again, when we're leaving it with this High Priestess, we can see there is mystery and there is this profound pull. And I just feel like this character is going to be point blank saying to Pisces, I may never fully understand you, but I do know that there is a vibrational like frequency that I can't explain. I can talk about it, but I can't really say that I understand it. I only know that it's there. I feel like this person's never leaving Pisces' side. I feel like we haven't had like a Two of Cups card or something like that, but it doesn't matter. They don't need that card to show what we're basically talking about, which is there's some mysterious bond. This person knows that Pisces is like made for them, or that they're made for Pisces, or that they were supposed to meet Pisces. That is I don't know that we've had such a sensitive, beautiful love story for Pisces in a long time. And one that doesn't have like all this drama. We've got this Four of Wands. I mean, the final message here from the universe is roots have been officially set, and the tree of life is going through a massive growth spurt in Pisces world. And this could represent Pisces really developing their skills, that moon energy, that High Priestess energy, that intuitive mystical energy that is Pisces is getting really stronger. They're really branching out. They're getting more comfortable in that. And they also are putting down roots and growing, fearlessly in a relationship as well. I mean, this can be the card of marriage. It feels like in the next 6 months, Pisces is going to have a very, very, very strong bond with someone. And that bond is only going to keep growing. That's beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Sarah J., great to see you, honey. Hi, Anisha Shatu. Great to catch you, love. All right, you guys, I'm going to bounce out for right now. I'll be back later on tonight. If you were wondering, I did do Taurus, Aquarius, Pisces, and then a Virgo video from yesterday that finally got to be released. And then tonight we will pick up with some Aries and probably also, let me think, Aries and I think Sagittarius. Aria Winter, thank you so much. I appreciate you too, my love. All right, guys, I'll see you later on. Bye. Have a great afternoon.